Hello and welcome to another episode of Dumb and Dumbest with me, your host, Matt Bacon, and my beautiful, wonderful, radiant
Person that Matt thinks is fake.
person that I think is fake, pseudo-suicidal, magical, mystical, foreign, weed legalized colleague and co-host, Curtis
That'd
Dewar.
be me. Just for the record, Matt, for some reason, thinks that I Photoshop my body, and I'm a flat, fat blob that just sits around. I don't know why he thinks that, but he has this weird idea that I the bottom half of me is like this big fat blob.
Yeah, and that is children are actors.
Yeah. As if I make enough money to go do all that.
Exactly. Like it's all like a big scam.
Yeah, and this is coming from a guy named Matt Bacon.
Who does not eat meat, and Bacon is not my real last name.
Exactly. The guy with the fake persona is accusing me of being a fake persona when you can easily do me.
It's not a fake persona, it's a character.
Excuse me.
Irregardless.
Wow. You could ask for lunch today?
No. Well, what did you have for lunch today, Curtis?
I'm eating it right now again.
What are you eating? Would you like to share with the group what you're eating?
I'm eating pepperoni pizza left over from last night, and it's fucking horrible.
I'm sorry that it's horrible.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about, outside of Curtis's lunch options, we will be talking about why sometimes the music you're creating isn't what the market is looking for, what to do about it, and why sometimes it's just, you just got to hang it up. Right. So this is a really, really, really hard one to talk about, just because it's like sometimes, like it literally can be a case of people don't want that right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are certain genres that people just don't want right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
but that doesn't mean they couldn't come back in the future. But
doesn't mean they couldn't come back in the future. But it's like, I don't see folk metal, having any sort of impact in the next 10 years.
But there are some bands that still do well that are folk metal, so it's kind of hard to say.
Or there's like bands that have taken folk metal in a new direction, like I don't know, Solstafir. Like there are folky elements to what they're doing. Yeah. But I'm saying like folk metal, like if you have your heart set on creating a Korpiklani, Trollfest style party folk metal band in America in 2018, you are never going to get anywhere. I'm sorry.
Well, that genre sucked to begin with. So
I loved that genre. Back off. At Jordan Vina by Korpiklani, fucking classic. But
okay.
Regardless, this is what I'm trying to say, right? Is that sometimes your genre just isn't what people want right now. I think there's a lot of grunge bands who realized that and started branding themselves as stoner rock.
Yes, or from my perspective, having recently had 2 or 3 grunge bands, if you don't label them as stoner and you call them grunge, nobody wants to hear them. But the second you call them stoner, everybody likes them. And even though they know it's grunge, they still will listen to it because it's tagged as being stoner. It's kind of a bit of false advertising on my part, but it doesn't work to call them grunge. I can tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. Like
I've got 3 like that I've done that with.
Well, because grunge isn't relevant. Stoner is. People are interested in stoner rock for, a variety of reasons. But that's hot stuff right now. Right? Yeah. And like you need to embrace what's hip and happening.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get successful.
Space Trucker, a band I recently worked with, who are definitely grunge, 100% grunge in my opinion.
Total grunge.
I branded them as stoner rock because A, their name is Space Trucker. B, they got that kind of like druggy type vibe going on their covers. And C, you know what? The stoner blogs lapped it right the fuck up, even though it was grunge.
Yeah, well, because all those guys, like, people still like good music, right? Like, someone who likes stoner rock didn't like come out of nowhere just listening to stoner rock. Like, they enjoyed like all those people really like Alice in Chains.
Yeah, or Soundgarden. Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if they claim not to, they're probably lying.
Yeah,
like
Alice in Chains basically grew up out of Black Sabbath, anyways.
yeah, and that's sort of the thing is like, these are that's just sort of how it is like if you're like look at the bands that are actually getting shows and try to just label yourself the same way they're
Without
labeled.
lying, but you got to do it in a proper way. Like a good example would be Ghost with their black metal scheme a few years ago. It worked, even though they're not black metal.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Well, they started by appealing because they had like the King Diamond thing.
Yeah.
So people could connect to the King Diamond thing. Like people understand that.
Yeah, and they tagged themselves to Fenriz and Watain and all the rest of them, right?
Yeah, but like no, but if you pitch high concept, if I'm a label guy and you pitch high concept rock band, with huge stage shows and it's all based on like ripping off Blue Oyster Cult and King Diamond, I would be like, no, fuck you. But if you give me that same band brought to me by Fenriz,
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, because people are hipsters and they just don't want to admit it.
Oh, totally.
I said it.
Totally. Well, it's not just that people are hipsters and they don't want to admit it, but you gotta lead a horse to water.
I agree 100%.
And I think that's something that Ghost did very well. Was they made themselves cool to beat, and it was cool to know about Ghost before anyone knew about Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Like they came on, like they came into the scene. I'm trying to think of the right word here. They came into the scene already cool.
Yeah. Well, that's because they tagged themselves onto some important thought leaders in the black metal community, which was smart.
Exactly.
And I don't know if they personally knew them already or how it worked, but
yes.
It worked.
Yeah, they did.
They did. Well, still, I mean, they used their connections, which was brilliant. Then in that case,
yeah. So, yeah. So basically, yeah. So I got all lost here because someone's texting me and I'm trying to multitask when I could not be. But long story short, they also analyzed what the time and place needed.
Yeah.
Is something that not a lot of people want to do. Again,
yeah.
Sometimes what you're doing is not right for the time and place. One of the big things, one of the big issues that I think we've been facing is, Gary Vee says this all the time, basically like a lot of people are marketing not to the year they're in, but the year they want to be in.
Yeah.
And that's huge. When I heard that like changed my world, because that's the basic fundamental reality of this entire thing, right? Is like, I like that you're playing nu metal and that you're doing nu metal very well, but guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because no one cares about Coal Chamber in 2018.
But they do care about Devil Driver, so if you're going to market your nu metal band, do it as like a Devil Driver style, who are trying to be like the groove metal but aren't.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you're in a nu metal band right now, stop calling yourself nu metal, go call yourself groove metal, and you'll sell like way more records.
Or death metal. Even if you are playing like I've done this with some nu metal clients I've had. If they tell me they're nu metal, I tone down the fact that they're nu metal. Even if they sound like nu metal, I try to pick the closest genre I can, which is either death metal or groove metal, like Matt said.
Yeah, and just like wear an Exhorder shirt and you're good.
Yeah, and or don't include a band photo, or just tone it down as much as you can on stating that you are that genre, because that genre is not quote unquote cool right now, right? So
yeah, and again, I know this sucks. Like, I know this sounds like some pretentious label head telling you what to do bullshit, but also like this is just how you sell records, and just based on like the way I think Curtis and I discover music to some extent.
yeah, I mean, like if I see a band as a new metal band, I'm probably not going to want to listen to them. But if they're marketed to me as being a death metal band, I'm more likely to listen to them, even if they end up being new metal ish, more new metal ish later. You know what? It's I know it's stupid, but it's just it's the connotation, right, of the word. So it's like, do I really want to listen to new metal? No, because you're thinking of like cheesy Coal Chamber, like Matt said, but it's like death metal. Oh, sure, I'll check it out, right?
Yeah, so it's really important to realize where the market is at and analyze where the market is at, and really just do that by looking for bands who sound like you and then just mimicking their marketing. So if you find a band who sounds
They're successful,
and
yeah,
but if you find a band who have the results you want and they sound like you and they're just calling themselves stoner rock and not grunge,
yeah,
cool. You can transition into the grunge thing later.
yeah, yeah,
But you want to like get people to pay attention.
exactly.
Because if no one's paying attention, it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one other thing too is I've seen a lot of times musicians will heavily resist calling themselves another genre than what they feel that they are. But I mean, the thing is if your PR guy or manager tells you to switch up the name, whatever genre you're in, listen to them, because there's probably a reason why they're telling you that, and that's the reason why, because that genre is not considered to be cool right now, and people aren't going to be as inclined to listen to it as if they call you something else. That's all.
Exactly. Like it's literally just this is how people perceive music and how they want to consume music. And this is not me and Curtis being assholes who
Yeah.
hate whatever genre you play.
Yeah.
This is us saying, would you like people to listen?
Yeah.
Yes or no? It's
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you whether or not people listen.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind our job basically when working with a band is we are acting as your salesperson. So the reason why we give you certain advice if we tell you to do something that sounds counterintuitive to what you think is right is because that's what we do, is we try to market you to journalists and we try to market you to labels, and we are in contact with them frequently, and we get a pretty good idea of what they want and what they're going to think is stupid. So if we say change the song title name, or you might want to tone down the fact that you're an ultra uber satanic band, you might want to do it.
Yeah. Or, this all being said, like, I think that here's the thing. Like, I think a lot of like, just to circle back to the grunge thing, because there's one band in particular I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a grunge band,
yeah,
and you fucking like went for it,
yeah,
I think people would be into it. Like, I also feel like if you were a new metal band and you just like fucking did like the Static X hair and stuff,
yeah.
I think people would be like, okay, that's pretty tight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at Steel Panther as a perfect example of this. Glam has not been cool outside of for like moms in 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And Steel Panther, instead, we're just like, no, we're just going to be the most glam band. And everyone loves it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you're a grunge band and you don't want to bill yourself as stoner rock for whatever reason, go out and buy some fucking Casio watches, fucking do Nirvana parody photo shoots, like fucking like post about weird grunge obscura, do I don't know, post Seattle memes or some bullshit, like fucking commit to it.
Or just do what I'm doing with like Grandma Vedetta, who are basically a stoner band or a grunge band, and calling them stoner and advertising them to stoner places. You do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think might be even a better idea, because it's more of a, like Matt said, it's a cool genre right now. You're going to get more fans. It's smarter, but hey, do what you want.
Yeah, like I'm just going on, if you really want to commit to this, if you really want to do this thing, fucking commit. Like, the amount of bands who make enough money to live off of their fucking thing is so ridiculously small. And you think that by doing it your fucking unproven way, you're going to make money and like be able to like pay yourself $40,000 a year or whatever.
Some bands do that, but hey, not all. A lot of them don't do it the wrong way, like Matt's saying.
You know, like it's the same with like people who want to like be in the 1% in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking think about it. You know, like I know people who want to be in the 1% who like I'll explain to them, here's how you do Instagram, like you're selling via socials. Here's how you do Instagram properly. And then they don't do it, and then they wonder why they don't have money. And it's like, okay, dude, that's fine, but that's why you don't have money. And that, you know, and again, it's I'm not like, I don't like hate poor people. You know, I'm just saying, like, if you have the audacity to think that you're going to be this band who break through, learn and master the rule book.
Yeah.
You know, or pay someone who has.
We should probably start wrapping up pretty soon, Matt.
Yes, you're right. Okay, point being, thank you for listening. This has been Dumb and Dumbest. Curtis, what do you have to plug?
Well, I'm kind of annoyed. Today is the day that weed became legalized in Canada. So as I walked down the street today, I could actually smell marijuana fumes, Matt. So I'm not too happy about that.
The reefer?
Yeah, there was actually a couple people must be smoking it in the yard now. It was all hidden out here until yesterday. God damn it. But anyways, that was kind of a side note. But anyways, what do I want to plug today? I got like a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Just real fast. So the takeaway from that is Curtis is an old man who hates fun.
You don't smoke weed either, though.
I don't smoke weed, but I'll let people smoke weed on my front porch.
All good for you. I wouldn't let someone smoke weed on my front porch. I get child services here in about 2 minutes.
Fair.
There you go.
Anyway.
What was it? What were we talking about? Plug. That's right. So I got a bunch of things going on today. So I got I Am the Law streaming a new video at New Noise. We also have Static Tension video coming up. And I just realized there was supposed to be something up that has not gone up today that now I got to go and follow up on, which I forgot to follow up on. Thanks, Matt.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm doing social media feedback for your Instagram and Facebook at $50 a month. It's super high value, low, doesn't really require a lot from you. $50 between 5 people is literally nothing. So give that a shot if you're trying to level up your social media game, really learn how to grind and kill it. Thank you again for listening. Please, I think on whatever platform you're listening to this on, outside of maybe Spotify, you can rate and subscribe. Thank you to our new host, Ghost Cult Magazine.
Oh, that host. Yes, we need to give a big shout out to Keith.
Keith for taking care of us.
Yeah.
Please just check out the website. Comment on this post if you're listening via the website. We would love to hear from you. Even comment on the Facebook. We'll probably comment back. Curtis and I have no friends and are hermits.
And one thing I just want to point out, just really quickly, just in regards to the ghost cult thing, is we did mention that the other day that we were going to find a site. So if you notice, we set a target and we achieved it.
Yeah, we didn't dick around for a week.
Yeah, we did it as soon as we got off the podcast. We talked about it. And I said, "Hey, boom!" And then we talked to Keith, and Keith was gracious enough to do it. And boom, boom, there you go. So we took action and we did it. Yeah.
Look at us, fucking #fucking killing it.
Mini Gary V's over here.
There we go. I actually got compared to Gary V by my aunt. Felt good.
Okay.
Anyway, cool. Thank you guys for listening.
Are we done now?
Now we are.